Hey friends, welcome. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you haven't already done so, please hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subby friend. And if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Now, today, what I want to share with you, I have been practicing what can I put inside bracelets. How do I make things line up? What looks good? What doesn't look good? So I have a bunch of bracelets here, and some of them are cute, some of them are terrible, but this was just about looking at some different ideas. So the reason why I'm bringing this here to show you, I wasn't going to, and that's why there's not really any video of me putting together, so I'm going to tell you about them. But as I was going through looking at doing videos, looking at doing bracelets, what I realized were there were no videos out there that really helped me. Now, I did see, videos of people like showing off their beautiful work and different things like that, but nothing really showed me what to do, what not to do. Now, mind you, I have not perfected this at all. However, if you look at this, you can see it's a lot of epoxy and a lot of work. And, my time's a little limited to be able to work on these, so you can imagine how long I've been working on this. And I wanted to share them with you because I know that it's frustrating when something doesn't work right. And I think, for me, the whole objective of having this channel and doing this was to be able to share things that work for me, things that didn't work for me, and give, people an opportunity to maybe save some time, save some epoxy, or find an idea that they could make work even better for themselves. So here we go. Now, the first thing I do want to show you, these are the different bracelet molds that I have. Find you in the thing there. Now, these haven't been cleaned since their last use yet, so I would suggest you see all the little bits of epoxy on there. Make sure that you clean them very well between using them. So these are the different molds for making different bracelets. So you can see I've got several. And one of the things that I personally am having a challenge with is getting it to the right place up top. So if you go over, you have a lot to clean up, right? If you go under, then you have a divot in your bracelet. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing to get used to, is where to end your epoxy. So none of my tops are perfect. Let me please stress that, because I haven't gotten to that good place yet. One thing I did learn with these molds, if I put a little bit of Vaseline around the edges, it doesn't stick. However, with that being said, you also need to realize that getting the epoxy in here without getting your edged Vaseline is also a challenge. So I think next time I might try putting my epoxy, then wiping off my edges, and then going around with some Vaseline at the end, so that if anything moves as it dries, that doesn't touch. So that's what I'll try next time. But, sometimes getting the epoxy in here nice and even is a little challenging, I would suggest that when you're putting your epoxy in, have available a toothpick and a popsicle stick so that you can, push back for your items, because when you put stuff in here, you need to make sure that your epoxy is around the edges, like underneath on both sides. Otherwise, you have open spaces left. Now, I did both ways. I did putting some epoxy first and then my object, and I did my object in and then epoxy. So we can see both of those. All right, so let's start with this. So I wanted to see about maybe putting some wire messages in, okay? I know like this needs to, it's not been cleaned up or anything. So please know that it's not about this beautiful, perfect bracelet. It's just about what things look like inside. So on this one, I did some flower decals, and I put this mom in here in wire, which I think is a cute idea. Now, I am certainly not good at, making names and stuff out of wire. That's something I have to practice. But this wire that I used is just the floral wire from the Dollar Tree, and it was really easy to bend. And what I did find is that you could write out what you want and then just sort of bend your wire around it. I didn't do that with this one, but I do have another one that I did do that with. So wire in it does work nicely. And then here's another one with wire in it. And I also wanted to see what a photo. So this picture is printed on photo paper, and I Mod Podged over it. So what you can see is that photos inside your bracelet do work out nicely. So this one, again, I tried some wire to see how that looks, and the photo. Now, I filled this one halfway because I wanted to get some glitter in different places, and then I went and filled it up. So on this one, I wanted to see how it would look if I on this, the epoxy, I stirred it quickly and I didn't take any kind of heat to it. On the bottom, I stirred it slowly and put some heat to it so you can see the difference. And I just really wanted to see what the difference was with those, so you can see the difference in that. Okay, so this turned out really cute, and this is some little puffy stickers from Dollar Tree, and I just wanted to see how they would look, how they would hold up inside of a bracelet. So if you wanted to make a cute little kid's bracelet, and they held up nicely. Now, of course, my bracelet making itself needs work. This is one of the first ones that I did, and this is, you can tell when you don't get enough epoxy all the way around it. So this is one where I put the things in first and then put the epoxy, and you can see there are places that don't have epoxy over it. And these were both the object in and then the epoxy. So, like I think putting the epoxy in first, this would have set nicer. Same with that. All right, so this one turned out really, really cute. Still working on getting the bracelet nicely. So this is, again, if you go too low or too high, you know, either having to sand down and fix the top or add some and fix the top. So that I have to work on. But this, I was able to, you know, get a nice little scenery going in my bracelet, and this turned out really cute. I actually like this as a little Halloween bracelet. So these are printed with my Cricut on photo paper, and then I used the print then cut, and it went and cut through them. And then it's got, of course, some glitter, and then this black tree here was actually cut out of vinyl with my Cricut. And what I did was I put a piece of packing tape down, and I set up my design the way I wanted it and put it in. And that's what I did with these next 4. But what I did learn, so I was thinking, because I want to make sure that my design covered my entire bracelet, I let my packing tape kind of stick up a little bit, and I thought, well, I'll go and cut it off. But what I would suggest, honestly, is when I do these next, I'm going to take my packing tape down to where it actually lands inside my bracelet here. And I think that that will save a lot of the cleanup over the top. However, I think the idea worked out really good. You know, it's a cute little picture, and you can see I put just a little bit of mica powder on my tape, and that worked out well. All right, so this one, I think that this one turned out so cute. So on this one, I did the same thing. I put my tape down, and I put all of my images on my tape. So I did, you can see, I did sand. There are some, these are just some clear stickers with ocean stuff in it. Some glitter, some shells, and these are pictures, but they look super cute in there. So I put all of that together on the tape, put it in, and then I put my relax, the metal relax, I stuck that in front. And then on this one, I did clear epoxy on the bottom to cover like all my sand and stuff. And then after that dried, I came back and I did epoxy with just a little bit of a light blue for my water in there. Now I'm still, of course, working on, you know, the transition of the top and all of that stuff, but it did come out really well. On this one, I did put a little epoxy first. I made sure that my sides were cut, and then I put my sticker piece in, my tape piece inside of it. And I used my toothpick and kind of pulled it back, pulled it this way, made sure everything was covered really well. And although not even close to perfect, I have some, you know, work to get this done. I think the concept is really nice, and I think it turned out really cute. So this one, I have another Halloween one, and done basically the same way as that one, except with this one, I did the print and cut, and I used clear sticker paper for my images to make sure that they were, you know, kind of, I wanted this like transparent kind of look. And then I used some mica powder around them. So again, I think it turned out cute. I think it's a nice idea. again, thinking that I wanted to make sure that I covered everything, I again let my tape be completely to the top, which just really wasn't the best idea. So same thing, and that's how the next one is too. I will next time bring my tape and make my images just a little smaller and bring my tape down so that it's not way up to the top. But again, just to give you some idea and show you how that looks. And then this is the same thing, except this one is a fall, farm and pumpkin patch. All right, so now on this shape bracelet, this one came out. This is really cute. So this shape tends to be the one that is the easiest to get a good shape from the beginning. And I just, wanted to see what some flowers would look like in here. And I put a little bit of foil. The biggest thing with these is that most of the objects float. So using some tape to build what you want it to look like and then putting that whole thing inside goes a long way to getting the entire thing even and looking the way you want it to. So that was the biggest thing for me. And then on this one, I didn't heat the epoxy, but I stirred it slow. I didn't aerate it too much, but I didn't heat it, and I have a lot more fine bubbles than on like these ones that I did heat. These ones that I stirred slowly and didn't heat, there's basically no bubbles. Now I want to show you this one. So on this one, I wanted to put these little blocks, these little letter blocks. So like if you wanted to do a name or something. So on this one, I did put epoxy in the bottom first, knowing that I didn't want my letters to sit way down here. So I made this ridge, which was good. However, when I lined in my letters, then I let this dry, fully filled it with epoxy, and you can see my letters floated. And this is cute. That's a bead inside there. So that, just so you can see how that looks, is really cute. But my letters floated. So then I did it again. And on this one, what I did was I put that bottom layer in there. And I let it get tacky. And then I went in and added my letters on there while it was tacky so that they would sit down inside. And then after it dried, then I put my next layer of epoxy over it. And as you can see, that worked so much better. I have them in the middle. Nicely. I put this little kind of black glitter on the bottom. I thought it was cute. My daughter wasn't the biggest fan of it. I think it would be cuter had I also put some up here so that it would feel even. But just to give you an idea. And then, so these little ones here, so please know, look, I haven't cleaned up the edge or anything yet. But I just wanted to kind of show you. So this one is so cute. So cute. So I didn't use any tape. I just put these down in there, but I put some epoxy first, put them in, then made sure I had plenty of epoxy. But this is feathers. These are feathers from the bag of feathers from the Dollar Tree. So you can see how cool that looks inside of there. And then this one, I used a thin piece of tape and I put the glitter on the tape, put it in, and then put the epoxy. So you can see this is extremely even all the way around. I'm covered, really cute. And then on this one, I just put the glitter and some epoxy, and then I needed to top it off, so that's how I got the glitter up here. I put a little bit more glitter when I topped it off, but really you can see that it's very sporadic doing it that way. So it just sort of depends on how you would like to see your glitter look. All right. All right. Well, listen, I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you, if you're doing bracelets, you find some stuff that you enjoy. If you found something that works really good for bracelets, I'd appreciate you leaving a comment down below. If you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And I hope you have a blessed and beautiful rest of the day. Thank you, friends. Bye.